ESPN 1410 Wing AM brings you 1410 Wing Live. Follow along on Facebook, on Twitter, even on our ESPN Dayton YouTube channel, and at wingam.com. We're everywhere. The biggest interviews with the biggest local and national guests. It's 1410 Wing Live with Justin Kinner.
All right, everybody, welcome in tonight. Week 3 of the high school football season kicks off here tonight on 1410 ESPN Radio, our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week, of course, brought to you by Kettering Health Network Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. We'll kick off at 7 o'clock, and it'll feature the Centerville Elks welcoming in the Wayne Warriors. Both teams 1-1 heading into this Week 3 matchup, and I'm excited to bring on our next guest. He's the head coach of the Wayne Warriors, Coach Roosevelt Mukes. Coach Mukes, welcome in, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Good. My voice keeps cracking for some reason. I have no clue. I've been picked on all week for that, so I'll fight through it today. Week three of the high school football season, and with everything going on in the world of sports right now, with all the chatter about college football and the NFL and whether it's safe to play, not safe to play, high school is rolling. There's been some hiccups along the way. But your thoughts just right now on coaching and your players playing during a pandemic right now, and the job that the schools are doing, ensuring safety, not just for the players and you as coaches, but the fans as well, to be able to experience the high school football experience as much as possible.
Yeah, I think the administration has done a great job as far as just letting us know what's going on and making sure that we're taking the proper steps to make sure that everyone is safe. I think the hard part is just continuing to, just control what we can control. And like I tell the team all the time, the things that you can control are wearing your mask, staying 6 feet apart, your attitude and your effort. Those are really only the things that we can control week in and week out. It's a different time for everyone. So we just take one day at a time and adjust whenever we have to.
Last week, I was able to talk with Coach Ulrey from Centerville and Dave Miller from Fairmont the week before that, just kind of getting a different vibe from coaches about the preparation for the season. You talk about just taking care of what you can control. You look at the preseason, it wasn't until about 10 days before the season actually kicked off that you guys actually knew you were going to actually be playing football. What was this preseason like for you and your team, and what was that moment like when the green light was finally given to be able to play this 2020 season?
I think prior to that decision, I think it was probably hard on everyone just because it was so much unknown.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're still kids. They're still teenagers. So they want to play. But, I think sometimes it could get monotonous for them because they weren't sure if they were going to get to have, some of them their senior season and things like that. And then once they got the green light that everything was a go, I think it was kind of some relief for everyone, but at the same time, some excitement. So, again, week 3, we're just happy to have the opportunity to be able to play and want to make sure that everybody stays safe. And we know it's going to be a great game against a great team.
What are your thoughts on how the atmospheres have been? I talked about this with a couple of coaches the last few weeks as well. My perception was when you started hearing about, only limited tickets to fans, I felt bad for the kids because I'm like, man, that's not going to be your typical atmosphere, considering that there is a limitation on fan attendance and everything. The atmospheres have been pretty good. I mean, the band is still loud. The fans and parents are still loud. The atmospheres for these games have been fantastic a couple weeks in, considering the limitations on attendance.
Yeah, I think it's an adjustment for everyone, but at the same time, it's something that had to be done. And I think for the kids, it's just having those loved ones that they can have there, being there for them to support them, and then just the fact that they get to play football, a sport that they love to do. So I think it's a win-win in that situation, but it's still not the Friday night lights that we're used to.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. Let's talk about your team this season. This is going to be the last season for your seniors. Just what are some of the conversations you've had with your seniors about being able to combat that? Because mentally, we know we're all experiencing something different during this pandemic, but for them, this isn't the experience that they thought they were going to be having, but they're still at least fortunate enough to be playing. What are some of the conversations you've had with your seniors as far as that's concerned?
I think the biggest conversation that we have is, again, just controlling what you can control. Yeah. And then making sure that you approach every day like it might be your last, because you just don't know, and we still don't know. So we try to approach every day like that. And like I tell them each and every day, you want to be better than you were the day before, and you have to understand that the most important play is the next play. So you can't dwell on things. You can't get in a rut to say. You just got to continue to get better and continue working.
All right, we have Roosevelt Mukes with us here. He's the Wayne Warriors head football coach. Excited to be hanging out with him here this afternoon on the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. Tonight, 7 o'clock, College Football Hall of Famer Keith Byers and myself will be on the call. Of course, we'll have the Wayne Warriors and the Centerville Elks. You guys are on the road tonight. You're 1-1 to start the season. A tough loss against Springfield in week 1. You rebounded a great win in week 2 against Miamisburg. You've had a couple games now under your belt. What's the vibe of your team right now? Obviously, every coach, there's always things to work on. What do you feel good about your team right now, and what are some things that you guys are really focusing on in practice at the moment?
I feel good that just from the standpoint that each and every week they come out ready to compete, knowing that there's some things that we need to clean up as a group, eliminate some miscues and some penalties and things like that. And like I told them yesterday, at the end of the day, just do your job. If each person commits to doing their job, then we'll have some good nights on Friday night. So we just want to continue to get better each and every week. I guess the thing about knowing that everyone is going to the playoffs is kind of like basketball. So, you just want to be continuing to get better each and every week and hoping that you're peaking at the right time.
I should know this. There's no GWAC champion this year, correct? There's no conference champion being crowned?
We're just playing the GWAC bubble, so.
You're just playing this, so. Okay, I was curious about that because my next question is, this obviously it's not preseason. It's not 6 weeks of preseason, but it could almost be approached that way. Are you coaching differently knowing that, hey, that week 7 matchup with no conference champion being crowned, obviously you're always coaching and playing to win, but at the same time, is each week being approached differently now that you know that week 7 matchup, you've already clinched the playoffs and it's just about preparing for that week?
Well, as a competitor, you want to win each and every time you step out there. So I'm not necessarily going to say that, but just knowing that, I guess for our seniors, I'm just happy that, they have some semblance of knowing that they'll be able to experience that their senior year, just knowing everything that they've dealt with this year. But no, each and every week, we just want to get better, and we want to, of course, we want to win. So like I told our kids yesterday, every time you step out there, you just want to compete. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that you're giving everything you have, not just for yourself, but for your teammates. So at some point in time, you have to not be selfish and be selfless. So that's what we're working on, and we're just going to continue to grow and get better each and every week. And like I said, this week is a big challenge for us at Centerville, and we look forward to it.
All right. So with that being said, Centerville tonight, what's the film showing? Chase Harrison, obviously one of the top quarterbacks in the state and definitely here in the area. What's the film showing on Centerville? We've had Centerville the last couple of weeks, and obviously, a team that forces a lot of turnovers, really good defensively. They have yet to have their best offensive game as of yet. What's the film showing on Centerville right now as you've been prepping for them all week?
I think you said it. They definitely have some playmakers. They have some people that can do things when they have the ball in their hands. So we're just trying to make sure that we can kind of contain those things. And like you said, Chase is a great quarterback, doing a tremendous job leading his team. And like I said, we look forward to the challenge.
Now for you guys, keep going. Sorry.
I said defensively, same thing. They have some people that fly around to the ball, have some athletes. So it's going to be an exciting night.
Talk about your offense right now, just the quarterback play and just your offensive attack. Just again, tell everyone a little bit about your offensive attack and some of the top guys on your offense right now.
Well, of course, we're led by Cam Fancher, our quarterback. And we go as he goes. He's the leader of the team, leader of the offense. So we like to put the ball in his hands and let him do some things to allow some of our athletes to get in space and do what they're good at. So he's doing a great job kind of guiding us and leading us. And then we have, for me, it starts up front. That's what I told the team yesterday. Those guys don't get the credit that they deserve. They do all the dirty work, but you got to give them credit, the linemen up front, because the skilled people, they get all the press and the, the news and all of that. So like I said, Cam's our leader, and then we rely on, last week our running backs by committee had a great game against Miamisburg. And then we have people like Elijah Brown, playing tight end for us. So we have some weapons. We just got to make sure that we put them in a position to be successful.
All right, good stuff. Roosevelt Mukes, head coach for the Wayne Warriors, good enough to hang out with us here this afternoon. Wayne, Centerville kicks off 7 o'clock tonight. It's our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Kettering Health Network at Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Coach Mukes, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck tonight. We appreciate you taking time and hanging out with us.
Thank you. You have a great night, and I'll see you tonight.